ready to go? Well, I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Recently, one of the most irresponsible decisions any administration has made was made in deciding to try Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and other terrorists in a civilian court. Right here in the shadow of the worst terrorist massacre in the history of our nation. Only about a half mile away, a few blocks away, the World Trade Center site, the self-described mastermind of 9/11, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, saw that his plan was executed on, leading to the devastation of thousands of New York lives. It's no surprise that the people of New York and around the country have reacted to this decision. They're appalled and they're outraged, and they want it reversed. And the fact is, it looks like the administration has begun to equivocate and waffle on whether or not this trial should take place and whether it should take place in a civilian courthouse. Let me make clear, this trial cannot go on, not in New York, not anywhere in America, not here, not now, not ever. And the decision itself is so flawed in so many different ways. To extend the rights and the privileges of the U.S. citizen in the civilian court to the self-described mastermind of 9/11 and other terrorists, and a complete misread of the nature of terrorism, of what this country is facing, of the risk right here to New Yorkers. It has little to do with the cost itself, although outrageous at $250 million, and it's got everything to do with the scale of the risk that a price tag of that magnitude reflects. It puts New Yorkers in danger. It's going to dislocate businesses and people. And for the people that already went through the trauma and the tragedy of 9/11, it is unconscionable that we would have this back here in New York. It's also unconscionable that we would expose the system to the possibility that these terrorists not be tried in a military tribunal, but have the possibility of being released on a technicality, on some motion to dismiss. At that point, what do? Do we release them into the public, creating even more risk, or do you hold them, thereby degrading the entire American jurisprudential system? In either event, it's a failure. It needs to be reversed. We're calling on the Attorney General, Eric Holder, and the President Obama, to reverse this misguided decision. The President announced during the State of the Union speech that he will do everything that it takes to keep Americans safe. We can begin by reversing this flawed decision, moving this trial out of New York, and try these terrorists in the place that they should be tried, in a military tribunal, which has been the place that British spies during the Revolutionary were tried, Nazi espionage agents on our soil in World War II, and in all the years in between, presidents of both parties have come together and have tried the enemy combatants on American soil through military tribunals. It's time that we reverse this decision. It's time the people of New York, people of America are heard. Their voices are clear. They want this trial out of New York. They want this trial in a military tribunal where it deserves to be. I'm joined by the chairman of the New York State Republican Committee and the New York State Conservative Party, Mike Long and Ed Cox. It's my pleasure to introduce the chairman of the
I want to add to what our presumptive designee for governor of the Republican Party just stated. I have traveled to the Middle East. I've been to leaders there. Some of whom were killed at the hands of terrorists. My conversations with them, it is absolutely clear that this is not the act of just one individual. This is the act of an organized enemy that contests what our society stands for. So the freedoms that we take for granted, they want to destroy. That's what happened on 9/11. Therefore, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed is an enemy and should be treated as a military enemy, not as a civilian who has all the rights of a civilian. Intelligence is the most important part when you're combating an organized enemy. You need intelligence. When you have a civilian trial, the people who be put on trial by the defense lawyers will be the CIA, the people who questioned Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. And that is going to put a dampening effect on the way we gather intelligence. And you need to have intelligence in order to stop more 9/11 plots. And they are going on every day, as has been made clear by our government. Those are the 2 points I want to make. Thank you very much.
I want to congratulate Rick Lazio for keeping this issue very well focused in front of the public eye. No greater call could be to call on all citizens to be united on this front to keep not only Lower Manhattan secure and safe by keeping these terrorists away from here and being tried in a civilian trial, but all citizens should rise up together, and I believe they have. My hope is that the administration at some point will listen to the calls of the citizens and Rick Lazio to move this trial and these terrorists, move it back to Guantanamo Bay under the military system where it belongs. We need not spend the money. We need not put our citizens at further risk. I think we have had fair warnings of recent that we possibly face more attacks in the near future. These trials must be placed where they are deservedly cast for in a military tribunal. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Ed Cox. As I said before, I think the trial in New York behind us presents the excessive and grave danger to the people of New York. It's incumbent on all leaders, all New Yorkers, to rally together to stop this trial from going forward in our backyard and to send a clear and unmistakable and relentless message to the administration to reverse the decision and do the right thing for the people of New York and for the people of America. Thank you. Thank you very much. Happy to take some questions.
What are the dangers you think that it presents?
I think there's so many different. First of all, you look at the scale, as I said before, if it's $250 million price tag, it tells you something about the exposure to the people of downtown New York. I mean, this state, more than any other state in the nation, faces and is confronted with the risk of more loss of life as a result of terrorism. People are caught on a weekly basis, and their goal is to kill as many Americans as possible, to destroy as much property as possible, to bring down our economy, bring down our government, and it almost always starts with a plan to blow up something in New York. So this cannot go forward here. We cannot have people who are terrorists, for the reasons that Ed Cox laid out, have access to confidential classified documents that only makes it easier for them to perpetuate more of these attacks on American soil. And of course, as you pile on police force here to sort of cover this area, it means we're going to be pulling police resources from different parts of the city that are going to in turn be exposed. So there are so many different risks involved in this. All of this, again, is excessive, unnecessary, and unacceptable. To me, I think it borders on the immoral.